everyone, welcome to Scantily Clad in the Kitchen. My name is Diva LaVida, and my very special guest this time is
Lacey Lane.
Hello! Thank you so much for being here. This is so exciting. We were gonna cook up something delicious.
Yes.
But before we get to the cook, I'm using the air quotes because
You'll find out.
You'll find out. No spoilers.
Yeah.
But before we get into that, I want to ask you, friend, we've done burlesque together for quite some time.
Yes.
Yes? What do you want to talk about with regards to your burlesque?
I mean, I don't really do burlesque anymore. I enjoy getting scantily clad. I get scantily clad in my own kitchen all the time.
Excellent.
So might as well do it here.
So these are not costumes, these are just clothes we wear.
Yeah. In my real life, I'm a yoga instructor. So this recipe actually has a callback to my beginnings as a yoga instructor. So it was something that was given to me by a fellow teacher trainee when I was going through the program like 3 years ago. And it was a really great snack to just kind of like have on hand.
Yes.
And then it ended up being sort of the majority of my intake for a while when I started to get super busy teaching. So it's nice. You can make it healthy or less healthy depending on what ingredients you want to find. But you can make it super healthy so that you don't feel guilty about having this thing to kind of sustain yourself through a busy work day or traveling around the city or whatever you're doing.
I'm very intrigued because we're both very busy people.
Yeah.
We do a lot of things. We are at many different venues at any point of the night and day.
Yeah.
And so it's always nice to have a little something in the bag that you can just be like, nom, 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 nom,
Absolutely.
and then go out and be living your most fabulous life.
Yeah. And it's also sweet, which I'm a big fan of.
Yes.
So if it feels like it's dessert and I can eat it as a healthy snack, that's good for me.
Ooh, I'm very excited. I've never had this before, so I'm pretty stoked to see what this is. What are we making today?
So I do have a name for this. It's on my blog. So I think I call it Absolutely Addictive Almond Butter Bites.
Ooh, I like that alliteration.
The name that I'm a big fan of alliteration. Lacey Lane.
Yes.
I have sort of come up with that name for these things because they are addictive, and I find that I'm like always going to my fridge, and I probably make a batch of these at least once a week.
Oh my goodness.
Probably more. Because they're good for like a breakfast, they're good for a snack, they're good for desserts. So the first thing that you should know is that I am vegan and gluten-free. So these ingredients are vegan and gluten-free. You can make a less vegan or less gluten-free version of this depending on the ingredients that you're willing to track down. Thankfully, we have all vegan and gluten-free ingredients today.
I think so. I hope so.
Yeah. So what you would normally start with is a cup of gluten-free oats. And today we actually have...
What do we have today?
This nice little gluten-free oats, but it's already like a mixture with flax and chia seeds, which is helpful because actually this recipe involves flax seeds and chia seeds.
How convenient!
We're just going to have lots of flax seeds and chia seeds, which is great because it's a lot of omega-3s. So we have a lot of omega-3s both in our oatmeal, and then we're going to add even more omega-3s in later. But if your oatmeal does not have flax seeds and chia seeds, that's great because we're going to add it in later anyway. We're just going to be very, very omega-3'd.
Yay.
Very
It's good for us.
Youthful skin.
Yes.
So I assume that this is probably about a cup.
I have no idea.
Yeah. I don't even think that we need to measure this.
Okay.
But if you are at home, you would do about a cup of your gluten-free oats. Or honestly, the way that I make this nowadays is just kind of all eyeballing. So it's really more portions than it is measurements. So here's our cup of gluten-free oats. Well, it's probably a little bit less than a cup.
Okay.
Maybe we'll do both of
We
these.
can put more.
We'll make a big batch.
Why not?
Again, it's eyeballing. It's really more about the ratios. So you want mostly oats.
I think this is mostly oats.
This is mostly oats.
This is what I could find at the store, you guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Limited supplies. You work with what you got, which is
Yeah.
fine because you at home will be working with what you find. So it's fine. From there, I usually go to the coconuts. So it's about a half a cup of coconut. I really just kind of eyeball it. Some days I want a little more coconut. Some days I want a little coconut.
I love coconut.
All right. Well, we'll do lots of coconut.
I'm going to say put in as much as you feel comfortable
Yeah.
with because I'm going to be all over that.
Awesome. So, and this is one thing about the sweetened coconut is it tends to be a little bit stickier, which is why I'm having harder time pouring that than usual. So there's our coconuts. Do you want to stir as I add in these ingredients? You can be in charge of stirring.
If that's helpful, yes.
So now you got the flax and the chia seeds.
So here's my question to you.
Yes.
I now have this giant bag of flax seeds.
I know.
What do I do with it after
Oh
this
my
recipe?
god, that's a brilliant question. You can do everything with flax seeds. You can
Everything.
sprinkle it on your salads.
Yeah.
Because it's very little taste involved. So this is not really adding to our flavor.
Mm-hmm.
It's really more just for the nutrient benefits.
Oh, okay.
So you can sprinkle it on your oatmeal, you can sprinkle it on your salads, you can put it in smoothies, and it's not really going to affect the taste, but you're just going to get that extra dose of omega-3s.
Ooh.
And these are actually whole flax seeds, raw whole flax seeds. You can also find them as like already ground up. Those will work fine for this recipe as well. It's really kind of like what you can get your hands on. And if you only have half of these ingredients, as long as you have the oats for your base, you can still make this recipe.
Oh, that's exciting.
So I mean, it really just depends on my mood. How many omega-3s do you want? We already have some omega-3s and some flax seeds in here, so I'm just gonna do a little sprinkling of these flax seeds in there.
A little extra.
Add a little extra crunch in there.
Yay.
And then we got the chia seeds. Do you know what you can do with chia seeds?
No.
Because you can do tons of things with chia seeds too. You can also do basically the same things with the flax seeds, but chia seeds are these magical little things that you can make something called chia pudding. Because chia seeds they'll absorb any liquid that is put around them, and they will kind of get this sort of gelatinous coating around the seeds. So, sounds weird. I like to compare it to, if you're a fan of tapioca pudding,
Yeah.
you'll probably enjoy chia seed pudding. Because
Okay.
it's that same sort of like gelatinous texture, like
Yeah.
round things. If you hate tapioca pudding, you probably don't want to try out the
That will
chia
not be
seed pudding.
delicious,
You
but-
can put this in your salads, and you can put this in, oatmeals and things like that, just like you would with the flax seeds. But you maybe don't want to make the chia pudding.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just a ratio. If you wanted to make chia pudding of, it's really kind of a hit or miss. I feel like it's probably like 1 to 2 or 1 to 3 parts, less chia seeds and more of your liquid of choice, whether it be, I usually do coconut milk, or canned coconut milk's really good because it has that like extra decadent richness to it. And then you can add like your own sweeteners or fruits or flavoring to it. You can put some vanilla in it and have vanilla chia seed pudding.
Yeah.
And it's super healthy, and that's something that you can just have on hand in your fridge. Another healthy snack in addition to what we're making right now.
It's a 2 for 1.
So, coconut oil.
Yes. Was I supposed to warm this up ahead of time and make it less of a solid?
No.
Okay.
The one that I usually buy, my kitchen's so hot that it's always less of a solid. So this is a new thing for me to have to like not have it lippy, liquidy. But work it out. It's just gonna be like the almond butter. We'll be able to kind of, mix it in. So,
I'm a big fan of the coconut oil.
yeah. What do you like it for?
Well, I like it for moisturizing purposes.
Yeah.
I use it on my baba during these harsh Chicago winters.
Me too.
I was sure to go out and get a brand new bottle of coconut oil
Because
so that this is
because
not
this
one
is
that I
not-
just shove my hand in.
As far as purpose in the recipe, it does help to make everything sort of hold together once it starts to get cold. So I mean, if I'm running low on coconut oil, I just put like a tablespoon in. If I have lots of coconut oil, I put a little more than that just for the health benefits. We'll just kind of scrape that in there. There we go. And then we have our almond butter, which is raw almond butter because this is a almost raw recipe. So
We're doing the best we can, you guys.
yeah, absolutely. I mean, technically, like if you're gonna be a real raw foodie, you wouldn't eat the oats because oats are not raw.
Oh.
I'm not that strict, and I'm not raw, but I do like to eat. I love when I was raw. I love to take away the raw vegan dessert recipes in particular because they were so delicious and so easy to make. So I figured that I would just maintain that in my diet as much as possible.
Yeah.
So whenever I can be almost raw with my desserts, it's a good thing. So these are also with chia seeds because this particular brand adds chia seeds into the raw almond butter, which is great. So now we have, so technically like we could have just skipped the chia seeds and the flax seed because we already had it in the oats and in the almond butter. So depending on what you have, you can hit or miss for either one.
It's all good, guys.
So this one, the thing about raw almond butters is a lot of times they come with the oil on top.
Yep.
So you have to mix that in. I had a friend recently that was very unfamiliar with this concept. He went from eating Jif peanut butter to trying to buy one of the healthier almond butters. And he was like, there was always this liquid at the top. I was like, you have to stir that in. That's how that works. And I was like, and frankly, the reason that that's happening is because that's the natural process of the oil separating from the ground up nuts. That's supposed to happen.
Yeah.
The only reason it doesn't happen in yours is because there's a bunch of other crap in that Jif peanut butter. So healthy versions, you do have to do a little extra work. You do need to stir it up most of the time. Occasionally you get a good brand that like they do something to it without making it super artificial, and you don't have to stir as much. But I put lots and lots of almond butter. And the chia seeds in this one is actually gonna, again, they absorb liquid around them, so like it makes it a little bit thicker in this particular brand. So it's gonna be a little more difficult to stir around. So we're gonna put plenty in there so that it will
This looks amazing.
saturate all of the oats. And ideally, what I would have done is add the rest of the dry ingredients before we put those wet ingredients in. So we're just going to keep adding those in while you stir. So you do want a little pinch of sea salt. Our oatmeal did come with salt in it. So I'm just going to put the tiniest pinch of this in there.
Because it's pretty.
Because it's pretty, because it's pink Himalayan sea salt, and it's also super good for you. Because the Himalayan sea salt, essentially it has the maximum number of like minerals.
Really?
So it's super, super healthy for you. Even more so than like sea salt. So you definitely want to get away from like the iodized like table salt, because that's just not doing your body any good. If you can get regular sea salt, that's going to have, I forget the exact numbers. I feel like it has like 7 or 8 like vitamins and minerals or something healthy from it, because it's directly from the earth and it's not processed. The pink Himalayan sea salt is actually even more so than that. It's like 14, 15, 16 vitamin and minerals.
What?
Super good for your body. You can make like, it's good for like, hot water and like gargling, and like when you're sick, it's all kinds of different uses. So yeah, if I need salt in something, well, why not make it the healthiest possible salt that I can have? So that's nice to throw in there. And then ideally for the healthiest version of this, what I usually use, Diva's such a good shopper. I tried, you guys. What I usually use for this is cacao nibs, which are a raw, chocolate-like product. It's basically like the nib of the cacao plant.
Okay.
So you're going straight to the source rather than have it be processed. It's just straight from the plant, ground up. It still has that chocolatey taste, but it doesn't have any like added sugars or added sweeteners.
Yeah.
So you get a little bit of a chocolate taste. You also get super healthy health benefits, because when you can do raw chocolate, it's super high in vitamin C.
Ooh.
And so
I've been eating oranges like a sucker this
I know! Eat chocolate instead! Exactly. Super high in vitamin C and all kinds of really healthy stuff. Magnesium, so for ladies on the period, it's really good to have some magnesium. That's why we crave chocolate.
Oh.
But if you can have raw chocolate, you're getting like extra magnesium because it hasn't been cooked out. Even the camera guy was like, oh! You can edit that out if you want, but that was nice. So ideally the raw chocolate or the raw cacao nibs, but worst case scenario, if you want to be a little more decadent, chocolate.
Yeah, we're just going chocolate.
So this is 100% cacao. This is super, super, super dark chocolate. And the darker the chocolate is, the more likely it is to be vegan. So I'm a big fan of dark chocolate anyway, but usually I have to look for like 72 on up. And even then it's not guaranteed. So I do check the ingredients. This one is just straight chocolate mass.
Hooray!
So 100%, there's no question about it. There's no milk in this. It's all vegan.
Oh, good.
And again, it's what you want. Do you want it to be a little chocolatey? Or do you want it to be a lot chocolatey? And just eyeball it. See what you like. See what works for you. And then mix all of that in. And we're going to add in our sweetener, which is ideally.
So again, we're doing the best we can with what we have.
It's good. It's fine. And that's what you're all going to be doing. We're still getting like maximum omega-3s in this. We are going to be so good.
We've added extra flax, extra chia, so we can
have the chocolate and the not so healthy maple syrup. So what this recipe calls for is actually maple syrup, 100% maple syrup. What Diva has here is this nice little original syrup.
It's just called original syrup.
But if you ever buy syrup that doesn't say maple syrup and flip it over, the ingredients for this.
I've never flipped it over.
Corn syrup, high fructose corn syrup, water, contains less than 2% of lots of colorings and weird things.
Is there any maple
There's
in that
no
at all?
maple in this.
Sorry. That's my bad.
So, ideally for the healthiest version of this, you're going to get the maple syrup because it's going to be a natural sweetener. And the reason I try and lean towards, I actually use maple syrup to sweeten almost everything. When I make baked goods, I never use refined sugar, and I rarely use other types of sugar, because maple syrup actually, again, like the salt, contains a lot of vitamins and minerals in and of itself.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna have something a little less healthy for your body, at least it has a little bit of healthy in with it.
Yeah.
So, maple syrup's a great sweetener, and I also like the flavoring of it too. It adds a great flavor.
Yeah.
Today we're gonna go with this. Because the syrup does add the moisture that we need to really bring this together.
All right.
And again, it really is just an eyeball thing. I think I probably have on the recipe on my website is like 3/4 of a cup or 1/4 of a cup. It's really about where your consistency is at any point during the recipe.
Okay.
You want to make it really easy to like really incorporate everything and mix it all around, but still have it solid enough that you're going to be able to either roll this into balls or like spoon it out onto a cookie sheet.
Okay.
So right now we're getting to a pretty good texture.
Yeah.
It's not looking like there's any, usually what I look for is like, are there like super dry oats at the bottom? And if there is, I'll add a little more coconut oil or a little more syrup. But we're looking pretty good there. So yes, and I'm a big fan of vanilla.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of overpouring vanilla in any given situation.
Oh.
If I'm baking, if it calls for like a teaspoon of vanilla, I'll put like 2 tablespoons. Because
That's a lot.
it's such a good amount.
Teaspoons and tablespoons are not the same thing.
They are not at all. So we're just going to drizzle it on. I won't
Okay.
over pour quite as much as I would. And again, another way to add a little moisture. If you're like, oh, I've got all these ingredients in there and I feel like it still looks a little dry when you add your vanilla extract. And I actually usually prefer alcohol-free vanilla extract, but that's just me being a snob. And again, it's totally, totally fine. It's all going to taste delicious. So we've got our decadent, chocolatey,
Oh my goodness.
coconut sweetened, corn syrupy, sort of healthy.
It's almost healthy.
Almond butter bites.
It's closer to healthy than
Yes.
other things
It's got
might be.
some healthy stuff, and it's all about balance. It's like when you can't have something completely healthy, like if you're gonna eat like crap most of the time, at least you can eat greens. Or if you're going to have the chocolate and the sweetened coconut, at least you're gonna have some omega-3s in that.
There's so much flax-and-chia in this.
There is, yeah. And and the point of like not having too much sugar and too much sweetener is because it causes inflammation in the body. So the flax seeds and the chia seeds, the omega-3s, are actually cutting back on inflammation in the body.
Ooh.
So we've got a little battle going on with this recipe. It's all gonna balance out.
It's gonna be great.
So our next step is to plate and freeze. The best thing for this, I used to have a really great little, they use these in like bake shops where it's like a scoop, but it's got like that ice cream scoop thing where like you can like click a handle and it'll like plop it on the plate. So if you have one of those, that makes them like nice and even and like really pretty.
I don't know one of those.
What I do now is simply scoop it on a spoon and then plop it on the plate. And then you just kind of like scoop it super tightly against the edge of the thing.
Okay.
So that whenever you try to bring it out, it's somewhat circular. Or if you want to like get your hands nice and dirty, you can like make sure you have clean hands and roll them into balls too. Like that works as well. But yeah, just making sure you get plenty of the goodness so that the little bites have chocolate chips in them and whatever else that you need.
All of the things. So we're using an actual like tablespoon measuring thing.
Yes.
So they're all going to be roughly the same size.
Yes.
Is this generally the size that you try to aim for?
It's totally up to you. It really just depends.
So if I wanted them even bigger, like super decadent, cheese ball size.
I go through a period of time where I kind of live off of these things, and they're my breakfast when I'm on the run, and so I'll make them much bigger then.
Oh, okay.
Because then I'm not just trying to, have a tiny little bite 500 times so that I can get enough nourishment for the day. But these are good.
Yeah.
And it's honestly like I'm super lazy with my baking, and so it's like whatever feels like it's gonna be coming off the spoon in that size is fine with me.
Would it be weird if I like put this out in a slab? Like, is it possible to freeze it as one solid thing and then break it apart?
Cut it into like maybe bars?
Yeah.
You could probably do that.
Yeah.
It might be a little harder because it is a thicker texture. It might be a little harder to kind of get it into slab form, but that would totally be doable.
Ooh.
Yeah, the key is, especially with the coconut oil, is just to keep it cooler so that everything will kind of come together. So when I have had these sort of like on the go, I need to be mindful of like, how long are these going to be in my purse?
Oh, sure.
And not eaten. And then even then, like, you'll just have a big bag full of mushy oatmeal if they're not cold. So you still have a delicious snack. It's just not in the form that you were going for originally.
Just gonna squish my face into that bag.
Yeah, just gonna grab a spoon and eat it out of the little Ziploc baggie, and yeah,
we've all been there.
Yeah. So these are gonna be super, super sweet.
Oh my goodness, I'm so excited.
I can smell the corn syrup.
I'm so excited.
Yeah, these are gonna be a very decadent and indulgent dessert.
So the particular thing we made today is not for every day.
Not for every day, not
necessarily.
necessarily. Yeah, absolutely. This would be a sometimes, like this is the decadent dessert. And really that's how I feel about it anytime I put the chocolate chips in.
Yeah.
Like the chocolate chips are kind of like, this is a dessert type thing. Whereas the cacao nibs, you still get that chocolate flavor, but you're not necessarily gonna overwhelm your system with anything. Although I've never gotten 100% chocolate chips. So there's no sugar in these chocolate chips. So, I mean...
Good thing we had all that corn
the
syrup.
Best... It's the best of the chocolate chip versions. So that's good. And then we have the corn syrup and the sugar and the coconut to balance things out.
Yeah.
So I'm just kind of like trying to find extra space on this.
I only own the one cookie sheet, so...
We're fine. It's because we've used both of those containers of oats. So there's plenty of little energy bite balls.
Is it weird if I try it before we freeze it?
No, absolutely not. That's my favorite thing. I'll make it and then I will just simply eat whatever I don't feel like putting into ball form. It's gonna be real rich. Yeah, right? Good. Are you chewing 30 times?
That's so good.
As your health coach recommended?
That's so good.
So yeah, this is, and these are good because it's gonna be like you've got some grains to keep your energy up. You've got some fats with the almond butter, and you've got the fruit, the healthy fat with the coconut too. So it's lots of healthy fat. So it's gonna help satiate you a little bit more.
Yeah. And
then it's good to like hold you over for things. And then hopefully occasionally you add some greens in as well.
Eventually,
yes. Some balance, but yeah, these are one of my favorite little snacks to make.
I'm digging this so much. Like there is definitely the sweetness is already there.
Yeah.
But because the chocolate is so unsweetened, like that bitterness is coming through really nicely and balancing it out.
Balance.
There's really great chewiness.
Yeah.
There.
And when you freeze it, the chewiness is still there. It's not quite as prominent as whenever it's unfrozen. And then you also get like the cool. It's like nice during the summer to have like a little like cool treat to like just pop out of the freezer and into your mouth. That's usually what I do. I usually just keep a plate full of these in my freezer. So anytime I want like a snack or a dessert, like I just go to the freezer and like pop one. And now you simply take your tray, put it in the freezer for about 10 to 15 minutes. Or as long as you have patience before you decide to eat them.
All right. So we've gotten our delicious bites out of the freezer.
Yeah.
They've been in there for a little while now.
Yeah.
What do you look for when you take them out of the freezer?
You just want them to feel like they're going to be solid and they're not going to crumble on your hands. Quite frankly, I don't even wait that long most of the time. But what I usually do is just poke at it.
Okay.
And, because of the coconut oil, it'll get a little hard.
Oh, these are pretty solid.
Yeah. So these are solid. And depending on how well you scoop them out will depend on how much they'll stay together. Because we had our little spoon technique. It's not quite as good as if you like rolled it or had a scooper. But yeah. So try things out. That's a good place to keep that.
Yep. I'll find that later. Oh no. Ooh, I like this a lot.
Yeah.
The saltiness is there, which I really like. There's a bitterness that I really like because I'm way more like sultry isn't the word I'm looking for. Savory. I'm way more savory than I am sweet.
Okay.
And this has a nice savory quality to it. Sometimes I talk when I have balls in my mouth. These balls are delicious.
Good. I'm glad you like my balls.
Very much. I'll eat Lacey's balls whenever possible. These are outstanding. Oh my god.
Right?
Thank you so much for bringing these
Yeah.
and showing me how to make them.
No problem.
Because this is like, that was easy.
Yeah, right?
I could do this.
Easy stuff. And you know, when you have all of the ingredients already here, you've got plenty of things. You can make this over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
It's good. Yeah, and it is one of those recipes that like you buy the ingredients once and you can make several batches because you're obviously not going to use everything that you just bought.
Mhm.
So, good stuff. Yeah. The dark chocolate, the 100% chocolate is nice.
I'm digging it.
Yeah. I've never had the 100% chocolate.
Ooh.
Yeah.
So we're both having something new today.
Something new.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that, like, I was a little bit worried there'd be too much chia and too much flaxseed, and that would be my bad.
Yeah.
It's just
It doesn't affect the taste.
I think it turned out really nice.
You're just gonna have nice glowing skin.
Ooh.
Omega 3s are good youthful skin enhancers. So yeah.
Good for us.
There you go.
Yeah. All right, friends. So now you can make your own almond butter bites at home.
Mhm.
Let us know how they turn out.
Yeah.
Find us in the comments and all of our various social media platforms, and tell us how your things came out. And if you find a fun substitution that works better for you, let us know what that is too, because we'll be super curious to try it out on our own time.
And if you would like this recipe in writing, you can find
Yes.
it over at michelleshaywalker.com. My not so secret alternative personality.
I feel like you're the Clark Kent of burlesque. Like, we all know your real name.
That's true. Yeah. You're like, sure, Clark.
Yeah. Glasses, completely different person. Whoops. I had no idea. We all
I
knew.
put clothes on. All of a sudden, I'm someone else.
Whole different person.
No, I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, go check out her blog and her YouTube channel because all of her stuff's great.
Yeah.
So thanks for being here, friend.
Yeah.
It's great.
Thanks for having me.
Yay.
Yay.
These are delicious. We're gonna eat all of them.
Yeah.
We'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.